The first trailer for Mortal Kombat 2 is finally here, and we've got everything you need to know from Easter eggs to character reveals and some insane fight sequences in this breakdown. Let's get into it. The two characters are obviously meant to be Johnny Cage and Jackson Ellis, and this is also the first time we hear the iconic Mortal Kombat theme. But there's something really cool about how they used it here. Jock says, "What if they're already here? What if the portal is still open?" And then we pan over to the Earthrealm warriors. Now, the original plan for Mortal Kombat 2 was supposed to have Raiden as one of the main villains. Simon McCoy even said in an interview last year that they were originally planning on having him possess Johnny Cage and turn him against the group. I believe these are called the Annexed. But I'm not sure if that's actually him or if he's just standing next to Sub-Zero, who is shooting ice projectiles. Then we see Scorpion and Sub-Zero finish off their opponent, which looks to be Cyrax, by freezing him and then ripping him in half. We then see Scorpion and Sub-Zero team up to take on an unknown character. The Elder God says, "You cannot win. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into." And it looks like they are ready to take on Shang Tsung and his entire army. Honestly, this trailer gave us so much information, and there's still so much more to talk about. But I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm going to end it here. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like. Also subscribe for more Mortal Kombat content. I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one. And then Liu Kang responds with, "That's why I'm here to find out." Oh, I love this line because it shows that Liu Kang isn't cocky. He knows he is up against impossible odds, and he's willing to sacrifice himself to save Earthrealm. There is a moment where Johnny Cage gets knocked over and is hanging off of the side of a building. Liu Kang grabs him and says, "Get up, hey. We have a world to save." Which is a really cool line. I really hope that they do Johnny Cage right in this movie, because out of all the characters, I feel like he is the most fun, and he is the one that has the most potential for comedic relief. Many people are speculating that this could be Sector, but I'm leaning more towards Cyrax. I think it's interesting that they chose Schnuck to be one of the main villains, because in the games, he's actually never really been a main villain. He's mostly just been a boss fight in the Mortal Kombat 11 storyline. He did play a part, but he wasn't really one of the main antagonists. Also in the MKDA timeline, which this movie is based off of, he doesn't really play a big role. So I'm curious to see how they write him into this story. I think it's definitely one of the Lin Kuei members. We then get a quick glimpse of a massive cyborg character who is speculated to be Smoke. He looks absolutely terrifying. After defeating the first wave of enemies, he is then met with Shang Tsung and his army. It's worth noting that there are a lot of different types of enemies here. There are all different shapes and sizes, and they seem to be drawing inspiration from various different characters in the games. Some of them seem to almost be like skeletal versions of the Shokan warriors. It's hard to tell. But there's definitely some unique designs in here that I think fans are going to appreciate. Shang Tsung says, "Earthrealm has fallen. The portal is closed. There is no hope." And then Scorpion steps in and says, "Actually, there's always hope," which is a pretty cool line. I love how they're making these characters look. Clearly that's not what happened here, but maybe they just changed their mind. I personally would have liked to see that, because I feel like it would have been really cool to see Johnny Cage fight against the possessed version of himself. All their eyes are glowing red, indicating they have either been possessed or brainwashed. I think this is a really cool idea for a plot twist, where Earthrealm thinks they have one, but in reality, they have actually lost. It would be a pretty dark turn, but considering this is Mortal Kombat, it's totally possible. They didn't just use the main theme, they actually used the Shang Tsung theme underneath it. It's very subtle, but if you're familiar with the music, you'll definitely pick it up. There are tons of characters that are fighting here, including Sub-Zero and Scorpion. We also see a couple of new characters, such as Movado and the female assassin, who is rumored to be either Mylena or Chameleon. Then we see Scorpion rip someone's spine out, which confirms that this movie will be R-rated. We also get our first look at Katana, but it's really quick, so I don't know if I even need to mention her here. We'll also get some glimpses of Kano and some more shots of Liu Kang, and then they all seem to be walking towards a big battle. The trailer opens with a fantastic line from Liu Kang. He says, "This is not a dream." Now this is important because this is the first time in the franchise that Shang Tsung is actually serving someone else. In the original 1995 movie, Shang Tsung was the main villain, and in Mortal Kombat X and 11, he is the main antagonist. But here he's working under Shao Kahn, which means he has a higher purpose. This is the first time we also see Karl Urban as the very intimidating-looking Shao Kahn. The shot pans over his body, starting from the side of his head, going down his shoulder, over his chest and ending at his hands, which are resting on a throne. I think this is a great way to introduce Shao Kahn, because it plays into his arrogance. He is very confident about his power and presence. This is not a fantasy. This is reality. And then he breaks the fourth wall by saying, "Welcome to Earthreal." Now this is a very interesting thing to start the movie with, because it's acknowledging that what we are watching is a film. It's also referencing the fact that throughout the 9 previous Mortal Kombat movies, they've all been about characters coming from other realms or being transported to other realms. So it's kind of a clever way to say, hey, these characters come from another world without having to have them do it in the cheesy ways they've done it in the past. After this, we see a couple of fighters training in a temple. We then cut to a flashback of Outworld, where Shang Tsung is meeting with Shao Kahn. Then we cut to a scene with Sonya Blade and Jox Briggs, where they are talking about a portal. And then we get the reveal of the traitor, which is Raiden. It looks like he's siding with the enemy. We then see a huge battle taking place in the streets of what looks like New York City. Then we see Liu Kang and Kung Lao facing off against the resurrected undead army that Shang Tsung created in the previous movie. Now there is a shot that shows that this cyborg has arms that extend out like spring-loaded pistons, and he seems to be shooting ice projectiles. We then see a shot of Johnny Cage fighting alongside Liu Kang against the resurrected undead army. Then we cut to a very intense moment where Liu Kang and Raiden are fighting together against Shinnok. Then we see Liu Kang break through the portal and enter Outworld. Then we see Liu Kang walk through the wasteland of Outworld, which is a nice nod to the ending of the first movie.